Okay, everybody. Well, good morning. We are working on our water qigong program. So when we deal with the water, we're talking about winter. In traditional Chinese medicine, the body is affected differently by different seasons of the year, different times of your life, seasons of your life, and times of day. For example, we're dealing with stomach spleen right now. That's a high tide for the body. During the winter, the bones, right, middle ear, endocrine system is affected, and the kidneys are affected. In traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys are responsible for regulating your body temperature. So we're going to do work here to work on our body temperature. So kind of take a mental note of your feet and your hands. When we're done, we want our feet to be really warm, our hands to be pink, and our mouth to be moist, so we can kind of see, if we've succeeded in our objective here. So the first thing we do is we look as far as we can to the yellow wall. We come up on our toes, and then we look as far as we can to the blue wall. So I look up, and I look down. Okay? Then as high as you can, and as low as you can. So loosening up the windows to the sky, all the acupoints that are in the, neck here. Now we're going to try to generate heat from the inside out. Our feet are parallel, shoulder width apart, big toe, little toe, heel, pushing into the ground and pulling up your arches. Palms are forward, middle finger points down, and their kidneys are back. And the way we do that is by rolling our tailbone under. And we are pretending we're standing in a river, water's coming at us, and we're giving the river opposite pressure. So as the river comes at us, our palms with an intangible energy push forward, our kidneys push backwards so we don't get knocked over. Our feet push down, chin drops, Bai Hui point, back, top of the head rises. So my head is going up, my feet are going down, palms are going forward, and kidneys are going back. So we're establishing 4 directions of opposing force. In doing so, we become stable. So if I walk through the room and bumped you, you wouldn't fall over, okay? In theory. So normally I have my 4-year-old boy just run through the room and tackle you and see who's still standing. He's pretty good. So we want to be stable like a pillar. Now we'll use a 1 through 5 visualization. 1 is fun. So you lift the corners of your mouth. And this basically tricks your body into thinking you're having fun. And you start to dump dopamine. So fake it until you make it. 2 is shoo. Again, by pushing the big toe, little toe, and heel into the ground, pulling up the arches, flexing all the little bitty muscles in your feet and ankles, we're going to lead heat to the feet. The shoes will melt into the ground beneath you. 3 is tree, rooting into the ground. Keep the knees bent. Your thighs, hamstrings, and glutes should be, flexed and solid. I usually take this time to walk through the room and squeeze everybody's glutes just to make sure. But too many lawsuits, so okay. You got to have fun with this. All right, so 3 is tree. And what we're trying to do is change our center of gravity. As we age, our center of gravity rises. So we want to keep that center of gravity below our belt. Palms forward, shoulders down. Okay? 4 is core. Let's visualize the roots penetrating the core of the earth. That's how deep we're rooting in. 5 is alive. Now we're going to lengthen and strengthen our breath. So we imagine that as we're inhaling, we're sipping from the core of the earth. It's that deep of a breath through the roots into our body, and our whole body becomes alive with this highly oxygenated blood. Then we exhale, and now we employ the 4 activities. So number 1, eyes are barely open. As we're inhaling, we're looking at our forehead. Number 2, as we're inhaling, the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Number 3, as we're exhaling, we pull in our belly button. Number 4, as we're exhaling, we pull up the huiyin, or the perineum point. 1, inhaling, looking up to the forehead. 2, inhaling, tongue on the roof of the mouth. 3, exhaling, pulling in the belly. 4, exhaling, pulling up the perineum. One more time. 1, looking up. 2, tongue on the roof of the mouth. 3, exhale, pull the belly in. 4, pull up the huiyin. and that's standing posture. Gather the heavens and pull them down to the earth. So the idea is, how do we warm up the body, especially in the morning, without moving it? It's kind of like a catch-22. If you move the body, you could hurt the body. So we don't want to just jump up and move. By standing, you generate internal heat. Next thing we do is, as always, we're going to try to lead the blood to the fingertips. Again, in Chinese medicine, Oriental medicine, the theory is death begins in the extremities. So we got to get the blood to the fingertips and toes every day. Now what we do is we say, okay, that's really a loose hand. Stop shaking it and let it shake. So it should look like you're shaking your hands, but you're really shaking your body and your hands are shaking. My skin is sliding on the muscles on the bones. The internal organs are kind of moving around a little bit. My heels are dropping. You can hear it in my voice. And so we're also breaking up adhesion. Everything likes to stick together when you sleep. Way to get that all broken up. Every time I lift my heels off the ground, I'm flexing my calves, assisting in the circulation of blood to my heart. Every time I'm flexing my calves, I'm also activating the lymphatic system, circulating lymph fluid up and out, cellular waste. Now we stop. And in theory, you tingle, right? So now let's go ahead and do the swinging the dragon's whiskers. And I'm looking over the shoulder, trying to look at that back door each time. Trying to relax the neck. We have to, recapture the ability to look 360 degrees without moving your feet. There's nothing in nature that will survive that cannot look 360 degrees around. We have to be able to look around or we become food. So, very important. All right. What we're going to do is a combination of what they call these healing or cleansing breaths. You'll find that you'll get more out of the exhale if it's audible, okay? And exhaling is a really important piece. As we talked about, 70% of the waste is removed through the body via the lungs as you exhale. So we're going to use 3 different sounds. The first sound we're going to inhale, then we're going to inhale, and we're going to inhale again. And now we're going to make like a leaky tire. It's going to go, yes. And we're going to put the hands right on the kidneys. We're going to look up. Then we're going to make a CHUU sound. Then we're going to bring the hands up. And we're going to make a okay, again, inhale, inhale, inhale more. Now exhale, HISSS, yes. Hands on the kidneys. Inhale, 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 bend over. Take the forearms, go like this right here, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm scrubbing a point called liver 14. And then I want you to go, okay? Okay, now what the heck was that? I know. So sounds, movement. We're trying to affect the meridians in the body and the emotions of the body. So the first thing is really about emptying the lungs. That belongs to lung and large intestine. So specifically, if you took, and I'm not going to touch the points today, if you took the index finger and the thumb, that's actually the acupressure points that I would use to treat, conditions in the lungs and large intestine. That's a large intestine meridian ends here, lung meridian, right? Technically, this one begins here, lung ends here. Right. So when I go like this and I inhale, and I inhale, and I inhale, I want to flex and make a capital L, and I want to make a hiss. Get it? Like you're squeezing a sponge. So obviously we're purging the lungs. We often just breathe out of our mouth, 1/3 of our lungs, and you've got to get all that out. This next one is about the kidneys. So I put my hands literally on my kidneys, and this time I'm going to take my pinky toe and my heel, push it into the ground, and pull up my arches. That's at all possible. Now push your big toe. And can you flex the inside of your legs? Because that's going to belong to your kidney meridian. I inhale, I inhale, I inhale, and I make a big ball. And I lean over the ball. Then I exhale, and I make this, and I exhale, pulling in the belly button, pulling in the belly button, pulling in the belly button, pulling in the belly button. Good. And then straighten your back out. Go like this. Cross, make a fist. So we flex the small muscles in the hands, and we make the flexing the fist and go. Because the liver, there's a liver point here, is responsible. We want to get the blood from here, which is laying in there all night, to here. So we make a fist. And that's how we get the blood to move to the extremities. So I'm combining metal in Oriental medicine, creating the water, right? Kidneys, creating the wood. Can you see how there's 3 elements? Those of us that have been playing this for a while. And this would be a medical Qigong cleansing breath protocol to regulate water. Make sense? Make the water and then let the water feed the baby. Got it? Let's do it 1,000 times. All right. So we're going to inhale. We're going to inhale. We're going to inhale. And now we're going to make the hiss. Inhale. 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 Straighten your back out. Inhale. 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 Yes. Now, okay, if you actually did the 108 of these, or 9, I'll take 9. You see how that you immediately generate internal heat, and you start to get the blood to the hands. You're also filling the muscle bellies of the legs by dropping into a better horse riding stance. So these are ways we could get the circulation moving without running the risk of excess. The older we get, the more dangerous, this is controversial, cardio training is. If you want to drop dead and give that maybe life insurance to your grandkids, buy a treadmill and get on that puppy in August. Okay, we lose a lot of our clients that way. So a hard cardio, which belongs to fire, is very dangerous after about 58. So it's like, what do you mean? That's important. It isn't, actually. It creates fight or flight. You're dumping cortisol. It's actually dangerous. But okay, but I'm just going to sit here and rot. Well, there's other ways to generate internal heat, get the metabolism going without putting stress on the cardiovascular system. And this is one of them. Does that make any sense? So, and someone who's, but I run. Well, you won't run long. And if you do, you'll spend the rest of your life nursing joint problems. So, after 58, it's not a great idea. So these are ways that we can fill the muscle bellies, fully expand and empty the lungs themselves, get the blood going without damage. The movement we do must be age appropriate, seasonally appropriate. Make sense? Okay, let's try another thing. It's called padding, and we're going to work on the bladder and kidney meridian. So what you do is we're going to get the hands ready. So we do a thing called the red palm exercise, and it's a way of generating heat in the hands. A lot of us have these perpetually cold hands. So first thing we do is we make the tightest fist we've ever made in our life. We extend it down. We inhale. We push the big toe. We inhale, keeping the fist as tight as you can. Thumb touches the middle finger. Exhale, keep it tight. Exhale, and exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale, 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 exhale. We're only doing 9 of these, okay? So when you go up, reach up and push your big toe like you're, just standing on the tip of your big toe. Then exhale. So very important. You're activating the spleen and liver meridian. Inhale. Get those heels off the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Tight fist you've ever made. Inhale, white knuckling it. Exhale. All right, we'll just do one more. Inhale. Tight, 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 tight. Now this time, exhale, open the hands. Float them down. Drop them below the heart, below the waist. Inhale, gather a big puffy bubble. Exhale, squeeze the bubble. Look at your hands. So that's an indication. How red are they? If they're not very red, see me after class. But you have to get them very red, okay? This is going to give you an indication of oxygen uptake in the body and circulation. Now make another fist. Now let's see, do they turn white? And how quickly do they turn red? Really, these are little, things that we look at to tell how we're doing, okay? So that's it. Now, you have the hand. It's a super hot healing hand. Yeah. And then you're going to take your hands and you're going to go from your lower back, rub your lower back, putting the heat in the lower back. Do this throughout the day, especially in the winter. And now lightly patting, going down the glutes, the hamstrings, as low as you can go comfortably without strain. Then lightly pat up the inside of the knees. Okay? Then go to the glutes. So watch me do this one. I go from here down. If you can get to the ankles, that's awesome. Then come up the inside of the ankles, inside of the knees, into the groin area, right where the down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, the padding. So what we're doing is we're going down the bladder meridian, which is, again, belongs to the water, and we come up the kidney meridian. When you bathe, right, when you take your monthly shower, what you want to do is you take the washcloth, and you go down and up, because that's how the wiring in your body works. Does this make any sense? So you're doing a bathing, just like when you do your arms, okay? We go like this. Try it with me. To the sternum and then out to the hands. That's how we wash our body but that's also how we dredge our meridians. So all of these meridians in your hands or wires run up to your head. All these wires come out of your armpit to your palm. Does that make sense? So by going with these wires and then coming across and coming out with these wires, I'm assisting in the flow of blood and chi. Then I do the other side. I go up these wires, all the yang meridians, then I come down and out of the yin meridians. This way and this way. This way and this way. Okay? And then I go down and up, down and up. Okay? Then again, 1, 2, 1. At first, it's kind of weird, isn't it? 1, 2, 1. I was going to do a video, but it was awkward. Here I am in the shower bathing. It's like, yeah, I don't know. That's going to end poorly. And so, you know, my life is a tragic comedy. And so we go, we go down and then up. Okay, but okay, there's a few things. A, yeah, it's a great way to wash. But B, it is a really good way to get the energy. You are more than just blood vessels. There's energy. Tapping all of this every day, okay? Because your mind has to be led to the surfaces of your body, or your proprioceptors, where your body is in space and time, atrophy, start to go away. So we actually have to say, okay, I'm still in this, baby. Here it is. You see what I'm saying? You bring your mind to every square inch of your body. Does that make sense? So easy way to do it is you take a shower, or you take a couple seconds, and you're done. And you kind of multitask. And you kind of wake up the body, and you bring the blood to the surface of the body. You know, and you kind of stimulate the nerves. That's just padding. They call it scholarly padding, they call it. Okay? It's really simple, but it has a huge impact. It's really also good for stimulating collagen. So you can go slap your face a lot too. No, don't do that. Okay, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale and set. Okay, very good. So those are some of the winter training protocol ideas I'd like you to, experiment with. All right, we'll start our Tai Chi in 5 minutes.